It corresponds to the amount of water that they clean through their reverse osmosis system and then the reject from their water softener. So it's basically just, as, again, my understanding from what they've told us.
As well, right?
This is not the evaporation water. This is this as I understand it, this is when they clean the water up, because they're going to use a lot more water than that. This is the water that they're not using, that they're saying, we need it cleaner than drinking water. And so then when they're done with that, that's what would go into their waste stream. The amount of water that they use for their process, I understand, would be, 10 times or more. You'd have to ask them. And they would have both the potable drinking water that they get. They would also collect rainwater and stormwater and recycle it. This is what I'm told. This is what was in their explanation to us. So that volume that they're actually using on a daily basis in their process, which is what goes into, the manufacturing, we never see, and we really don't, it's not a concern to the utility board.
Well, of course.
The wastewater flow that is permitted under the industrial program, the pretreatment industrial user program, is coming from the reverse osmosis and the water softener, and that's all. If it's coming from anything else, it would be a violation of the permit, and we want to know about it. We at the utility board want to know about it, and we're going to go back and have to modify the permit and go back and ask whether or not we've been misled. This is what we are aware of. This is the industrial permit. There is domestic flow, like there is at any facility. We don't really, other than knowing how much it is for planning purposes, we don't really care about that.
Mr. Lewis, is Charlestown Utility, is it a municipal public utility?
Correct.
We are chartered by the state of West Virginia, correct?
We are subject to the state's regulation of municipal public water or wastewater systems.
Lie or misrepresent anything on any of our documents, there are legal sanctions, criminal sanctions that would apply, correct?
When I tell all of my clients when we were talking about environmental, I say, you know what, you can violate things, you can do all kinds of things, and you may get penalized, you may pay a penalty, but there's one way to go to jail. Lying, cheating, and stealing. So if any of the people in this facility, in the municipal operation, are lying, cheating, or stealing, take some mental, then they're subject to criminal penalties. And so if someone's lying on something, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Alphabet, etc., to figure out ways that we can implement modular building technologies where we have a clean waste stream to take back and recycle. Keep in mind that this is a 50-year plan. Our product lasts at least 50 years. It's made of stone. Rock kind of rocks. And the biggest problem we have is separation of waste streams right now and the current waste management system. So if we look at the challenges that we have in the U.S., for it to be economically feasible, we really need a 400-mile radius of our factories, which means more factories in the U.S. to close the loop. And it also means that, well, there's a few other global issues as well, like that we can't export our waste to China anymore. Certainly we can put it on a train to the southeast and just let it sit there and rot, which is like what's happening now. But preferably, we don't want to do that, and we think we can actually close the loop if we can get over some of the not in my backyard anti-industry rhetoric that's happening.